Hey everyone, we are in the woods in Moscow and I'm with Brandon.
Hey guys.
Brandon has been on my channel. This is the third time, right?
Yeah, dude, I just told you, but I'm the most reoccurring guest on this channel, so it's an honor.
So exactly. And Brandon's here. He's visiting me in Moscow
Hmm.
for a few days. And yeah, so the point of this video is I just want to ask you your, what do you think about Moscow? Like you live in St. Pete
Yeah.
and what do you think about Moscow? What has been your experience so far in Moscow? What do you think?
Yeah, so guys, you probably saw that Alexander was a part of Petersburg Canal a week ago. And so he gave them my contact number and recommended me. So they contacted me back and told me, Brandon, why don't you just fly out to Moscow? We'll pay for your flight. We'll pay for the taxis and everything like that. And we would love to interview another American about, why he enjoys living here. And so, yeah, I decided, why the hell not? So I flew on out here, and I'm really lucky because Alex let me stay at his place for 1 or 2 evenings. So very grateful for that. And yeah, right now we're just walking in the woods here.
People are skiing,
Yeah,
cross-country skiing
cross
here.
country skiing here. And
But
yeah,
so you've been complaining a little bit about my apartment sort of outside the city. What is your experience like? So you think if you were to move to Moscow full time, you would move somewhere closer, right?
well, we got to break this down because let's break this down. I live on Nevsky Prospect, and I'm very lucky and very grateful that I found my apartment in St. Petersburg on the main street there. And I pay right around 42,000 rubles for my apartment, which I guess is, let's say, $420. But you live way outside of downtown Moscow. Well, you kind of live in the suburbs, but it's not like completely outside of this Moscow circle here, right? But you kind of live close to that line. And
I mean,
well,
the reason why I live here is honestly because of this forest. Like this forest is amazing. In the wintertime, it's not as good because you can't run here, but this is honestly the main reason why I live here. I used to live in the center. I lived the very center of Moscow, and that honestly for your health, it's not ideal.
Sure, I can agree with that. So let me circle this back to your original question at hand. He said that I was complaining, and I have been complaining a little bit because if you're ever planning on visiting or moving to Moscow, you should absolutely be aware that if you're not going to live in the very city center downtown, then you should expect to spend around 1 hour just using transportation to get anywhere, like basically minimum. And it's more likely than not more than that, especially if you have a friend who lives on the other side of the city and you need to go to him or they need to come to you if you don't agree to meet up at a mutual point. So in St. Pete, I would say the time's cut around 1/3 of that, and you can maybe even make it half of that. And because I live directly in downtown St. Petersburg, coming here to Moscow and staying outside of downtown, for me, it's a little bit of a change that I'm not used to because I'm at the focal point in St. Petersburg.
How much do you pay for your apartment per month, by the way?
$420
Okay.
420 bucks.
So 42,000 rubles?
42,000 rubles, that's
Wow,
right. And it's a good apartment. It's not like it's a Kommunalka, which maybe some people aren't familiar with, where it's kind of like that big apartment where they kind of break it into smaller rooms for people to live in, but they share a common kitchen, something like that. No, it's an actual apartment, 1 bedroom, 42, 43 square meters,
And
classical style downtown. So, but your apartment is great too. It's just, I still think it's a little bit overpriced, but I understand that with all the amenities that come with it, and you're super close to the metro, maybe like a 5-minute walk, that it's going to be, well, it's the price that it is. But maybe I just haven't caught up to date with all the inflation that's happened here, and I'm still kind of living in this 2019 time frame.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, prices in Moscow are crazy. And I think that, if you're moving to Moscow, you should
be aware of that.
Be aware that you're going to be paying, if you want something more or less to Western standards, you're going to pay about $1,000 a month minimum.
Right, which is totally okay considering the fact that $1,000 a month in the US is going to get you a dump, a dump apartment. But here you can get a really nice 1 or 2 bedroom apartment for $1,000 here. So that is the good thing for people who live in Europe or the US who come here. But yeah, considering the fact I've lived here for some time, yeah, when I come to Moscow, I have to adjust my standards a little bit because there is still a difference between Moscow and St. Pete, and then if we compare it with the rest of Russia, obviously people who live in smaller cities, you know, coming to Moscow, it costs a lot of money. So that's why it's such a big adventure for like families when they come here. It's not like it happens every 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months, you know, it's like a once every 3 or 4 year thing. Like, let's go to Moscow. So
we're like walking through the woods here. I mean, we're gonna be like,
dude, show the audience what we're about to come up to. I mean, this,
yeah,
this
we
looks really
are
nice
okay.
here.
So this forest is actually a very popular forest in Moscow. It's called Mishersky Les, and I think Abramovich owns this land. It's not a public park. I mean, it's public, but it's privately owned, I think. So this is sort of like a,
yeah, be careful here too, because this is all ice on this little wooden bridge.
yeah, but this, again, this is why like I live here. Like,
Dude, this is nice.
You know, people ask me like, do you live, so it's in Moscow, there's this concept of living outside the MKAD. It's like the circle ring, again, I guess, in Russia, or in Moscow. And when you say like, я живу за МКАДом, kind of, it's got a sort of negative connotation.
Yeah.
People think like, you don't have enough money to live in the center. But the thing is like, I pay extra to live za МКАДом.
Right.
So,
but you get this.
Yeah,
you get this krasota.
like, this is like what you're paying for, honestly. So
right, exactly. So if you use it to your advantage, then it's worth it. But yeah, man. So overall, Moscow, like I've said before, it's a fantastic city. I really enjoy being a tourist here.
Would you move here though, do you think?
That's the thing, is that moving here, it depends what the job is, of course, if I can work remotely or not, because I can't imagine people who live in your area who maybe work somewhere like, I don't know, 10, 12 metro stations away.
And it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, like waking up at 6 in the morning and like going outside -20°C weather and then taking the metro like every day, like an hour to work. Like, dude, that's brutal, man. But that's just life for a lot of people when you live in a big city like this.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's fine because, you know, like I have remote work, so.
Yeah, that's super clutch. So in that case, everything's possible, but man, it's
so
crazy.
What are we doing here? Like, why are we walking in this forest? Like, we have a goal. Like, tell the audience what we're doing out here.
We do have a goal, man. We're gonna go check out this, well, it's a restaurant, right? As far as I understand.
It's sort of like a restaurant cafe.
Cafe type place out here in the forest. I've never been here before. Alex has been here, but he says it's quite nice, maybe a little bit luxurious, and so we could get some content there, I guess. And well, it's good just to get outside of the city, because when you live in downtown Moscow, St. Pete, or any city, sometimes, like me, I haven't seen like this in so long. Maybe since I was in the US and just living in my hometown. But like, this is really, really beautiful right here. It's like refreshing. It's a breath of fresh air, literally. And yeah, people are just like, it's cool because people kind of distance themselves here from like social media and all that stuff. Like, you just want to get out and go for a walk and just enjoy the nice weather. And today it's actually pretty nice. It's like, what, maybe 28 Fahrenheit, so no wind. Dude, this is actually really beautiful.
So we're gonna get some content for you at this cafe, and I'm gonna show the cafe. And
yeah, get some clips of the cafe too.
That's pretty much the video. So honestly, this was super impromptu. Just wanted to make a video because I haven't made a video in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and I need to keep the the YouTube algorithm so it knows I'm still alive here in Russia. So.
Well, maybe we can summarize this video and say like things you should be aware before moving to Moscow, and that's well, the prices are closer to US standard prices than if you're thinking it's dirt cheap everywhere in Russia, because I think a lot of foreigners might think it's dirt cheap in Russia, but in Moscow, no, it's not the case. You can expect to spend like, you know, 30, 40, 50 bucks on a taxi to go somewhere. You can expect to pay 30, 40 bucks at a restaurant when you go somewhere. So just be aware of that. And the second thing is that, yeah, if you're going to use public transportation, just Moscow is just so big. It's the largest city in all of Europe, man.
I know.
Like 15 million people live here. So it's going to take,
or more.
Yeah, so it's going to take you time to get from place to place. So, yeah, just be aware that you might lose precious time that you weren't thinking about before. Especially if you're from like some smaller state where you drive a car everywhere. And so,
All right, so that's pretty much it. I'm gonna probably film some random stuff at the
Ye-
cafe. But that's
yeah,
pretty
dude.
much it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you at the cafe.
Dude.
Артур, стой, стой, я тебе сейчас стой, у меня есть специалист, стой, стой, у меня есть карман специальный. Иди сюда.
This is like a super Instagram
Yeah.
place. All right, so we came to this cafe. Brandon's filming his Instagram content. Sort of an oversight on my part that this place is packed. Sunday at 3 p.m. Of course, it's going to be packed. So we're just going to walk back, but that's status.
Yes, that's pretty much it. Maybe one more.
This is what it looks like filming Brandon's content behind the scenes. So we went to that cafe and there were a ton of people, so we realized that we're gonna go to a different place. So, but it's a good walk. What do you think about this walk in the Russian forest?
Dude, it's refreshing, man. It's great to get out of the city sometimes.
I know. I mean, it's good for your mental health to be in the forest and breathe some fresh air.
Little
So
detox.
exactly. So we didn't go to that cafe. We went to a different cafe. And I come to this place all the time. Even like one of the managers, like he watches my YouTube channel and tells me to make more videos. So that's what we're doing. Got some borscht here. And that's how we're gonna end this video, eating borscht. So I'll see you in the next video, guys.